Hello, hello. I'm recording this video while looking at my plant because the plant looks better than me right now, and I don't feel like putting that stuff together. This is another confession video. Just it could be new moon energy. I mean full moon energy, but whatever. I just have a lot of um realizations coming to me. And this one that I want to confess to is in relation to spiritual truths. So, like there's so many common spiritual truths that are out there that you hear and it's just like whatever, or that doesn't make any sense, and you go about your life. And one of those things being the fact that we choose our parents, and we choose certain like life is made of choices and everything, but it's like you choose your parents, and then you know what your soul's destiny or what it is that you come here to learn, and so therefore you've set up these lessons so that your soul experiences evolution. And then obviously some people don't come upon any realizations, and therefore they begin to fail the lessons that they gave themselves. And what I've been realizing lately is, okay, I don't know, the first time I heard about us choosing our parents, I don't know, I probably was like 26 or 27, and I was listening to Brother Panic, and I was like, what is he talking about? I did not choose these people. And it kind of like went in one ear out of the other, and I've heard it multiple times from other different metaphysical teachers, different spiritual teachers. You hear it, you hear it, you hear it, but it means nothing to you, I swear, until now. Like right now, I sometimes, not today, because today has been very emotional, and I'll talk about the emotion. I'll talk about it another time when I'm not as emotional. But what I have realized it recently, like, oh my God, these people are right. We literally do design this. And the reason I say that is because I realized the moment that I felt a lump, because I always examine my breasts like same time every month. I always have. My pediatrician taught me that, like from the moment that I got a period, to do that. And so I always had that same little habit of checking. Um, and the moment that I felt a lump, I was like, this is fucking cancer. And then another part of me was like, don't say something like that. Don't be negative, toxic spirituality. Don't do this, don't do that. And don't think that, don't say that, and all this other kind of stuff. That's what I told myself immediately, until, and like a month went by, and then I'm doing again, my exam the next month, and I'm like, oh shit, it's still here. I guess I'll go get checked out and schedule an appointment or whatever. But I recently have just kind of looked at the entire situation and laughed, because I know that I am one of the most stubborn people I have ever met. I really am. I'm so stubborn. And if I did not design myself to have cancer, I think that I would continue on the path that my ego has been on for survival, because ego is all about your survival and therefore is very resistant towards change. And I've been doing the most to try and break out of egoic patterns this year with, different um, different types of meditations, different types of healing modalities, even utilizing plant medicine. Like if you would have told me last year that I would be trying shrooms, I would have been like, oh, what? No, I'm not. Like it just would have never occurred to me. I've been doing the most to try to break out of egoic um, thought patterns, and the most to try and heal things that I know are holding me back. And it's like at this point in time in my life, I'm like, yo, I designed this kind of perfect. Kind of perfect because I know that I would not have broken out of it otherwise. Like if it had not been something serious, I would not have broken out of it. And more importantly, I know me, and I know that if I had like the way they're like, oh, it's just one lump. When they start talking about the size of the lump, and then before I ever even got, fully all the, like, you don't just find out there's a lump and then boom, start chemo. There's so many other tests that they make you do ahead of time. And during all of that other testing, a second lump came. And I know that if I didn't see a second lump, I probably would have not done chemo. I know myself. And then I probably would have been resistant toward this entire thing. Like, it feels weird to say so today, but in reality, if I was not doing chemo, I would not be experiencing what I'm experiencing now, which is a crumbling of my life, a crumbling of the actual ego that I have built up from the time that I was a child. And there's so much inside of that that I cannot unpack very quickly. But I see exactly, like, I see my flaw. I see my imperfections. I see my demons, or I always say, like, Satan isn't a person, it's really you. Like, both sides are you. God and the devil, they're both you. All this duality is not really real. We just perceive it that way. And I've been living on the side of the devil while thinking that I'm on the side of God, or I don't even know. Like, I've been living on the side of evil, which is survival, which is fear, which is, all those things that hold us down and pull us down on this earth, instead of reaching for love and reaching for freedom and reaching for a big glass of I don't give a fuck. I don't have a better way to say that. That is really how I feel. Um, in my mind, I've always thought like people are, all these judgment coming towards me, and I realize they're my own judgments. They're no one else's but my own. Like, I am really realizing that, like, I create my own prison to live in, and we all do. We all do it. We all create our own prison to live in. It's just that my soul was in con is in not was is in contract to complete a certain work at a certain time, and I was not on the track to complete it. And so this is what I designed for myself. And I really, 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 really didn't believe that I chose two crappy parents, both to, like, sort of, in their own ways, abandon me and neglect me, especially emotionally. I had what I needed as far as, physical, like clothes and food and a home and all that kind of stuff. But as far as emotionally, as far as any sort of guidance in this life, everything has been me figuring it out on my own. And I spent a long time being depressed about that, especially in my 20s, thinking like, God damn, like, what is wrong with these people? Why would they do this to me? Why me? Like, why does everybody think that I have the answers? Why does everybody think that I like figuring it out on my own? Like, this shit is hard. And now it's just like, oh, this is why. Like, if I had received this, that, and the other, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't have the strength to go through this. Like, you think you know who you are until you go through this. It is not easy. It's not easy, and part of the reason that it's not easy is because, at least for myself, having an aggressive, a rare and aggressive cancer, and then therefore having to have this aggressive treatment of going every single week, it's like being in a boxing ring and knowing that when you go in for the next round, you're gonna get knocked on your ass again. Like, you think you recuperated, you got you know, you're in the ring, somebody's massaging your shoulders, you got a little sip of water, you got a little pep talk, you get back in the ring. And it's like I keep getting back in the ring and keep getting knocked down, and I keep recouping, I keep getting back up because that's who I am. But like it's really hitting me. Let's see. I have 3 more rounds of this particular therapy of going every single week, this aggressive stuff. I have 3 more rounds. So I'm, what, 9 weeks in. And I am realizing, I said it in the beginning that there's no way that I can come out the same on the other end of this, but it's like every time I'm getting knocked down, I'm losing a piece of myself. And as I lose pieces of myself, I gain more perception. I gain more wisdom. I gain more knowledge of myself and a clear, like, it's just like a clear view of what it is that I came to do and how I can go about doing it. And not like the sense of anxiety, the sense of, um, overwhelming burden and responsibility with what I chose to do, with what my soul chose to do in this lifetime. It's like I'm taking, I'm seeing it bite by bite, like how I can actually do this thing. And it doesn't seem that big. And the parents that I chose, they don't seem that bad. In fact, I've said before on my channel, like dealing with my mother as she is, as terrible as she was, it made me who I am. And not having my dad to run to also made me who I am. And having him to run to for this part of my life, for the second half, as a support mechanism, is also my design. So, and it's just clear to me that I designed it this way. Like it's like no other there's no other way that I could see me doing this than the way that I designed it, if that makes sense. Like it just makes perfect sense. It fits me as a light being, if that makes sense. And I just feel, even in the middle of like the surrealness of chemo, because it does feel like a freaking nightmare. It feels absolutely surreal. And every so often I freak out because I'm like, I just want to go back to work. I want to go back to work. I want my computer back. I want my patients back. I want all of that life back. But in reality, all of it is not my vibrate. All of that is not my vibration. It's not where I am. It's not where I belong. And therefore, I created this acid inside of my body in a form of a cancer. I know how all of this works. I created all of this so that I could, break free from it. And I know it's just the ego talking every time that I say that I want to go back, or, and I do miss that. I ain't gonna lie, I do miss that. But what I'm coming upon now is giving myself permission, to to break free and live free and design a life that makes more sense for me, of course. But I just wanted to confess that because I don't know. I feel like at some point in time I confessed myself as being super spiritual and like kind of having this knowledge and wisdom and things, and not really believing the concepts, not really comprehending the concepts. So right now it's just like in my face that this is a real ass thing. We really do design this thing. And maybe it takes, you being a certain age or living a certain amount of time for you to really see how you designed it and why you designed it a certain way. And maybe other people left that out. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope the full moon brings the same type of clarity and illumination to everyone. Be blessed.